today I'm at the Midwest Automotive Media Association Spring Rally, and Scout brought the Traveler SUV. It's a static vehicle, but what I want to do in this video is a walk around and show you some of the cool details and the throwbacks to the earlier Scouts. So, my name is Jill Ciminillo with Pickup Truck Plus SUV Talk. Let's take a closer look at the Scout Traveler right now. All right, so we are just going to start with the front of the vehicle because they've got a lot that they have done here. So the first thing I want to point out is this ghost lighting that they have. And this is kind of an ambient lighting that just kind of circles around, and it's kind of a soft light, but it will create a really neat glow around the grille. Then you have this Scout signature right here, which is off to the side. And this is not going to be standard, the lit Scout, but the signature will be here. But whether or not it'll be lit is still being worked out for the which trim it'll be on. But I don't know. I just think it looks really cool from the front. They've done a lot with the design to give it more of a throwback to the original Scout vehicles. And one of the really cool features that you've got is the bumper here at the front and the rear bumper, as well as, you know, this side panel here. They are all removable. So, I mean, essentially what that means is if the vehicle gets damaged in any way, they can be like removed and replaced. But additionally, there are going to be a lot of accessories for this vehicle. And that means that, you know, perhaps there's going to be a winch, perhaps there's going to be a different kind of bumper that you could put on. And because that's removable, you can do that. So moving around to the side, you know what, we will just pop inside before we go and look at the rest of the exterior. But one of the things that I really appreciate with the Scout is they've given it a lot of heritage, and they've given it a lot of like throwback design. So from, you know, this leather to, you know, the plaid on the pedals to, I mean, the plaid on that little port there, or the place to store your stuff. But they've done a really, I think, good job of integrating in the tech with the heritage features. So, yeah, I'm just going to point to the fact that you can adjust your side mirrors with a knob. And so when they were doing the walk around of the vehicle and the design presentation, you know, they talked a lot about integrating technology with frequently touched areas so that you are not going to be flipping through several screens to be able to do something stupid and simple. So you do have a lot of buttons and switches and knobs to be able to adjust the things that you're going to touch the most frequently. And I mean, if you've seen anything that I've done, I get really annoyed and irked when you have to page through screens to be able to do anything. And so I feel like they've got some really good integration with, you know, the things that you're going to put in the screen versus not in the screen. So I haven't seen your headlight adjustment, so I don't know if that's going to be through the screen or not. And I will say this is just a prototype vehicle. This is just a prototype vehicle, and so some of the things that you see may not make it into the production vehicle, but they said that this is a production intended vehicle. So as we're walking around, I mean, again, the details on this are just really, really well done. And you have this great pattern on the handle. And even though, because this is a prototype, there is a little touchpad here, but they said that they fully intend to have this be an actual handle that you will pull. So a mechanical handle, not a latch. So just because this is a concept vehicle, you have the latch. Now I asked them, like, what message did you want to get out about the Scout Traveler? And the first thing they said is that this is a very off-road capable vehicle. So body on frame, lockers, meant to go off-road, but it's also meant to be that, hey, I need to take my kids to carpool. I need to take them to school. I need to put athletic gear in the back. I want to go camping. I want to have this be a lifestyle vehicle. So super capable, but also very functional. And can I press this? Can I open? I didn't want to. Okay. All right. So the other thing that I want to point out is this is going to be a NACS port. So it comes factory installed with a NACS charge port, which means that's a Tesla supercharger. But one of the really cool things that they've done is they've put actual plugs here, and then you can see Scout power supply station. So if you are tailgating, if you are camping, functional feature here to be able to plug in more than one thing while you are out and about. So, okay, so what does that do to range? What does that mean? Well, if you're looking at electric only vehicle or an electric only range, you're looking at 350 miles. Okay, so come on, this is just really cool. These details are really cool. And you have that ghost lighting again around the edge. So 350 miles of all electric range, but if you have the Harvester extended range uh, engine, you'll go up to 500 miles of range. So I think that's pretty cool. Again, making this a functional, capable vehicle for a multitude of lifestyles and for functionality. I would have no problems driving this vehicle to and from Chicago, which, again, I think that's really cool. So if you did have the EREV version, this is where your gas tank would be. And I do want to point out, so a lot of times people will talk about like plug-in hybrids or the fact that something is powered by gasoline. This is no way powered by gasoline. This is an extended range vehicle. So what that means is the range extender actually powers the battery. So this runs completely on electricity. This does have a frunk, and it's it's a very functional frunk. Let's see if we can get them to open it. Hold on. Okay, so this is the frunk, and I don't have the specs available on this, but you do have a really nice space here to fit things and use this as an extra seat. And the one thing that I pointed out is, yeah, you actually have cup holders here. So if you were tailgating or doing something outside, yeah, you just sit there with a cup of coffee or adult beverage in the cup holder. This right here is going to be intended for accessories. So this rack is going to be removable, and there's going to be other things that you can put in here. This is an air compressor for your tires. So in addition to having this functional space, it's also going to be able to be tricked out. And they're still working out the details on this. Keep in mind, this is still a couple years away from production, but I feel like it's just a really cool nod to the history of the vehicle with the design elements, the heritage inspired interior, the functional details, but it is a nice way to look forward into like an electric future that we are embracing. So I don't know, I think this is really cool. I love all of the little details that they have around the vehicle. They're calling them like Easter eggs, but the functionality of storage spaces and the details, and I mean the textures, this is like a cloth material here that feels really cool. And the mixture of materials, the overall design, this very large panoramic roof. I don't know. I can't wait to see the production version of this vehicle because I just think it's going to be really cool. And one of the things they said when we were doing a walk around is, how does this compete with Rivian? And they're like, well, it doesn't really compete with Rivian because one, it's $20,000 less, but two, it's meant to be its own vehicle. So don't have any specific pricing information. They just generally said it's $20,000 less. So that is just going to be a quick look at the Scout Traveler and all of the multitude of really cool details that you have on this vehicle. I can't wait to drive it IRL, and I will really look forward to when they bring this vehicle to production more soon.